Origins and construction of the Eiffel Tower. It was at the 1889 Exposition Universelle, the date that marked the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution, that a great competition was launched in the Journal Officiel. The first digging work started on the 26th of January 1887. On the 31st of March 1889, the tower had been finished in record time 2 years, 2 months and 5 days, and was established as a veritable technical feat.
Key figures: design 18,038 metallic parts, 5,300 workshop designs, 50 engineers and designers, construction 150 workers in the Levallois-Perret factory, between 150 and 300 workers on the construction site, 2,500,000 rivets, 7,300 tons of iron, 60 tons of paint, 5 lifts, duration 2 years, 2 months and 5 days of construction. The construction schedule: works kick off the 26th of January 1887, start of the pillars and #39. Mounting the 1st of July 1887, first floor achievement the 1st of April 1888, second floor achievement the 14th of August 1888. Top and assembly achievement the 31st of March 1889. The design of the Eiffel Tower. The plan to build a tower 300 meters high was conceived as part of preparations for the World and No. 39's Fair of 1889. The wager was 2 in quart. Study the possibility of erecting an iron tower on the Champ de Mars with a square base, 125 meters across and 300 meters tall in quart. Selected from among 107 projects, it was that of Gustave Eiffel, an entrepreneur, Maurice Quechelin and Émile Nouguier, both engineers, and Stephen Sauvestre, an architect, that was accepted. Émile Nouguier and Maurice Quechelin, the two chief engineers in Eiffel and No. 39's company, had the idea for a very tall tower in June 1884. It was to be designed like a large pylon with 4 columns of lattice work girders, separated at the base and coming together at the top, and joined to each other by more metal girders at regular intervals. The tower project was a bold extension of this principle up to a height of 300 meters, equivalent to the symbolic figure of 1,000 feet. On September 18, 1884, Eiffel registered a patent in quart for a new configuration allowing the construction of metal supports and pylons capable of exceeding a height of 300 meters in quart. In order to make the project more acceptable to public opinion, Nouguier and Quechelin commissioned the architect Stephen Sauternes to work on the project and No. 39's appearance. Quite different. First edition. Sauvestre proposed stonework pedestals to dress the legs, monumental arches to link the columns in the first level, large glass-walled halls on each level, a bold-shaped design for the top and various other ornamental features to decorate the whole of the structure. In the end, the project was simplified, but certain elements such as the large arches at the base were retained, which in part give it its very characteristic appearance. The curvature of the uprights is mathematically determined to offer the most efficient wind resistance possible. As Eiffel himself explains, in quart, all the cutting force of the wind passes into the interior of the leading edge uprights. Lines drawn tangential to each upright with the point of each tangent at the same height will always intersect at a second point, which is exactly the point through which passes the flow resultant from the action of the wind on that part of the tower support situated above the 2 points in question. Before coming together at the high pinnacle, the uprights appear to burst out of the ground, and in a way to be shaped by the action of the wind in quart. The assembly of the supports began on July 1, 1887 and was completed 22 months later. All the elements were prepared in Eiffel's factory located at Levallois-Perret on the outskirts of Paris. Each of the 18,000 pieces used to construct the tower were specifically designed and calculated, traced out to an accuracy of 1/10 of a millimeter and then put together, forming new pieces around 5 meters each. A team of constructors, who had worked on the great metal viaduct projects, were responsible for the 150 to 300 workers on site assembling this gigantic erector set. The rivet workers. All the metal pieces of the tower are held together by rivets, a well-refined method of construction at the time the tower was constructed. First, the pieces were assembled in the factory using bolts, later to be replaced one by one with thermally assembled rivets, which contracted during cooling, thus ensuring a very tight fit. A team of 4 men was needed for each rivet assembled, one to heat it up, another to hold it in place, a third to shape the head and a fourth to beat it with a sledgehammer. Only a third of the 2,500,000 rivets used in the construction of the tower were inserted directly on site. The uprights rest on concrete foundations installed a few meters below ground level on top of a layer of compacted gravel. Each corner edge rests on its own supporting block, applying to it a pressure of 3 to 4 kilograms per square centimeter, and each block is joined to the others by walls. On the Seine side of the construction, the builders used watertight metal caissons and injected compressed air, so that they were able to work below the level of the water. The tower was assembled using wooden scaffolding and small steam cranes mounted onto the tower itself. The assembly of the first level was achieved by the use of 12 temporary wooden scaffolds, 30 meters high, and 4 larger scaffolds of 40 meters each. Enquat, sandboxes enquat, and hydraulic jacks, replaced after use by permanent wedges, allowed the metal girders to be positioned to an accuracy of 1 millimeter. On December 7, 1887, the joining of the major girders up to the first level was completed. The pieces were hauled up by steam cranes, which themselves climbed up the tower as they went along, using the runners to be used for the tower and number 39's lifts. Record construction time: it only took 5 months to build the foundations and 21 to finish assembling the metal pieces of the tower. Considering the rudimentary means available at that period, this could be considered record speed. The assembly of the tower was a marvel of precision, as all chroniclers of the period agree. The construction work began in January 1887 and was finished on March 31, 1889. On the narrow platform at the top, Eiffel received his decoration from the Legion of Honor. Debate and controversy surrounding the Eiffel Tower. Even before the end of its construction, the tower was already at the heart of much debate. Enveloped in criticism from the biggest names in the world of art and literature, the tower managed to stand its ground and achieve the success it deserved. Various pamphlets and articles were published throughout the year of 1886, Le 14 février 1887, La Protestation des Artistes. The Enquat, protest against the Tower of Monsieur Eiffel Enquat, published in the newspaper Le Temps, is addressed to the world and number 39's fair and number 39's director of works, Monsieur Alfond. It is signed by several big names from the world of literature and the arts: Charles Gounod, Guy de Maupassant, Alexandre Dumas Jr., François Capet, Leconte de Lisle, Sully Prudhomme, William Bouguereau, Ernest Meissonier, Victorien Sardou, Charles Garnier, and others to whom posterity has been less kind. Other satirists pushed the violent diatribe even further, hurling insults like "Enquat," "This truly tragic street lamp Enquat," "Léon Bloy," Enquat, "This belfry skeleton Enquat," "Paul Verlaine," Enquat, "This mast of iron gymnasium apparatus, incomplete, confused and deformed Enquat," François Capet, Enquat, "This high and skinny pyramid of iron ladders, this giant ungainly skeleton upon a base that looks built to carry a colossal monument of Cyclops, but which just peters out into a ridiculous thin shape like a factory chimney Enquat, Maupassant, Enquat, a half-built factory pipe, a carcass waiting to be fleshed out with freestone or brick, a funnel-shaped grill, a hole-riddled suppository Enquat, yours Karl Huysmans." Once the tower was finished, the criticism burned itself out in the presence of the completed masterpiece, and in the light of the enormous popular success with which it was greeted. It received 2 million visitors during the World and number 39's Fair of 1889.